ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. How y'all doing on this Thursday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my live review of last night's edition of AEW Dynamite. It was the November 30th, 2022 edition that took place in Indianapolis, Indiana. Why do I feel we were just in Indy reviewing a show? I think it was a SmackDown recently that we did. A SmackDown, I believe it was, that we did in Indianapolis. Just fairly recently, in my opinion. Well, I'm sorry, not my opinion, that's facts. I believe it was SmackDown that we just did recently in Indianapolis. I can't freaking talk tonight, I'm sorry. We're going to go over this. We are 2 weeks away from the Winter is Coming special, and we're going to have MJF and Ricky Starks headline that show for the AEW World Championship. But the stakes have also been upped because Ricky Starks is now going after the MJF's Dynamite Diamond Ring that he has won so far the first 3 years of its existence. And he will be in the Battle Royale next week. And a winner will also face MJF for that ring. I still wonder how that is going to work, though. Because, again, it goes back to the whole thing of, like, if you pin the champ, you should be the champ. Unless if, like, MJF just somehow gives it up or something. I don't know. It's going to be strange. I'm intrigued to see and wondering how that's all going to work. We'll get to that, though. Now, this was a lower rated show, I hear. My honest opinion, just my opinion, I thought this was a great show. I for real did, because I really was blown away by MJF's promo. I was surprised by, of course, the return of Hangman Adam Page. And they're hyping up, obviously, for another match with him and Jon Moxley, which should be pretty good. Their first one, of course, that Hangman suffered a concussion in was good also. And this is the first one we've seen Hangman since he got rung up like that. Again, Dax Harwood and Ryan Danielson put on a clinic, I thought. Stuff with the women, wasn't too bad. Was definitely gaining more stock also for Willow Nightingale, for sure. Samoa Joe and AR Fox had a great match. And, of course, we got, in the main event, the Elite and Death Triangle in the third match of this Best of 7 series. And, by the way, it got clarified to me that that the winner of this series will be the AEW Trios Tag Champions. Because I thought at first they would just switch the belts back and forth with whoever won. But that is not the case here. No, it's just a series. And whoever wins the series will, of course, be the Trios Tag Champs, of course. So, that said straight there for me as well. But yeah, let's roll in, let's talk about it. But first, let's check the live chat, see what we got here. We've got Tyler and Mark in the live chat. I'm doing alright, Mark. How about yourself? So, Tyler, he just did a live stream before me. Nice. He thought the show was boring. That's okay. Mark says, I feel bad for Regal, but he should have ducked, because as soon as MJF put on those brass knuckles, I knew that was coming. Honest to God, I did not see it coming. I did not see that coming. I was even surprised, too. I was surprised, but I'm just like, where the hell does this lead Regal? Well, we will get to that, of course, when we get to that segment. It was good to see Hangman Adam Page back. Oh, yes, I agree for sure. And we got Bugs with sunglasses saying, hi. Hi, Bugs, as well. Good to see you again. I know you were on a recent stream. But yeah, I'm going to roll in and get started, because I do have another video I want to pre-record and try to upload tonight also. But we will talk about Dynamite. And again, I thought it was a good show. Again, very good hype for Winter is Coming. The only thing I will say, though, is I was a little disappointed on this episode that we did not get a segment with MJF and Ricky Starks. I felt we should have gotten some. Yes, MJF did mention Ricky Starks in his promo, but we're 2 weeks away from their match. They should have at least mentioned something. Unless, of course, this is not going to be the only match they have. And I hope to God it's not the only match that they have, in my opinion. But yeah, let's roll in. Let's talk about it. The show opened up with Mr. Jonathan Moxley coming out, which, by the way, also, before I got started, I did share, and I know I'm probably getting very annoying promoting this, but please make sure to give me a follow on TikTok. The show for people sub, and check out my two favorite TikToks, which again is my one about what Bray Wyatt's theme song really sounds like, and also the recent one with Bobby Lashley, Sami Zayn, and Barney as well. Those, and also of course the one with John Moxley I made a little highlight reel of Moxley and explaining how I still think he should bring back the unscripted violence theme song, in my opinion, which is so far my most viewed on TikTok. And at this moment it currently has, let me see here, 5,868 views, which is pretty darn awesome. I would say so too. My Barney one has about 500. The Bray Wyatt one has about 78. I was a little bummed by that one, but yeah, make sure, of course, support the man on TikTok as well as hopefully again more platforms for me to engage with my audience will be coming soon, hopefully. But anyways. Let's roll in though and talk about the show. But anyways, the show was again with Mr. Jon Moxley. He grew up about 90 miles from here, of course in Cincinnati, and he used to wrestle in Indy all the time. This has been a crazy ass ride, and you never know what's around the corner. But there are three certainties in this world: death, taxes, and Jon Moxley. There's no one that can outwork, out-hustle, out-wrestle, out-fight, out-bleed, and out-sweat him. Nothing's really changed, and he's at the top of the food chain. He does and says what he wants, and this ring belongs to him. You can bet your ass there's not a man in that locker room, or within 100 miles, that has the balls to come out here, look him in the eyes, and tell him any different. And then boom! Hangman Adam Page returns. And again, this was the first time we've seen Hangman since he suffered a concussion in the match he had with Moxley. I think about a month and a half ago, I think it was. It was like middle of October, I believe, was they had their match. Yeah, it was October 12th, I think, because it was the Tuesday edition of NXT. I'm sorry, AEW, not NXT. Wrong show. I don't watch NXT anymore. Anyways, though, Hangman comes out, and Mox says, "You sure you want to do this after what happened last time?" If he remembers what happened, of course, referring to his concussion, which sets up Hangman, and they begin to brawl big time. And referees are trying to pull them apart, but they just kept making their best efforts to get their hands on each other. And there was a couple times that they were shown brawling. So, yeah, we're getting another match between these two. A lot of people are saying it's probably going to be a lights out match. Not sure if this will be just for, like, winter is coming, or maybe like beach break or New Year's Smash, whenever that happens. That's what usually they do there. Or they could very well build it to the next pay-per-view. I mean, that would be a hell of a pay-per-view match. Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page, dear Lord, take my money. It would be awesome. So yeah, so we have, of course, that going on in the show, which was pretty cool. The first actual match we had of the show was Bryan Danielson versus Dax Harwood. Look, I gotta give this man credit where credit is due. Dax Harwood, I feel like has a little bit more of a single spotlight than Cash Wheeler's gotten so far in their careers. Dax Harwood is a great, technical, wrestler. I mean, yes, of course, that FTR, when they're on their game, and of course, booked right, of course, too, they have some of the best psychology, and again, just the simplest, wrestling style, but just such great psychology that you can just easily believe them as, like, a great tag team. Dax Harwood himself really shows that, that strength he gets to the team. He, again, has had some of the best matches this year as a single star. It's too bad he's lost them all, but I believe he's lost them all. But man, again, this guy is not good. He's taking it to town with Bryan Danielson. Him and Cash Wheeler, when they went one-on-one with each other for the Owen Hart Cup tournament, was awesome. I believe he fought Adam Cole, too, was awesome. Will Ospreay he fought, too, was awesome. Again, any singles match Dax Harwood has had this year, he has literally knocked it out of the park. And again, that was no different. That was literally no different than what he did in this match with Bryan Danielson. These two just put on a show and just had a banger. Hard hitting, a bunch of good counters, a lot of technical style wrestling. It was awesome. Eventually, though, Danielson did win with the label lock applied to Dax Harwood. Afterwards, though, Danielson does applaud Harwood, offers a handshake. Dax fakes him out, but swings right back in around for a hug. Very awesome match and very awesome moment there, too. Of course, that's not the only time we saw, I'm sorry, not MJF, Bryan Danielson. We'll get to them later. But anyways, we had Ricky Starks backstage, who entered himself into the Battle Royal, and he wants to win. He wants to take everything away from MJF. His title, his ring, his spot, everything he has. Starks is owed, and he's going to prove it. So we'll see how that goes. If MJF, of course, was not, going to have to defend his Dynamite Diamond ring, I would definitely say instantly put the ring on Ricky Starks. But now, of course, that he has to face MJF again. I'm still just confused how that's going to work. I don't know. I don't want to have to see MJF take a pinfall loss as champion. I mean, yes. He is 4-4 this year, so yes, the win-loss record's not quite there, but again, the microphone just backs him up so easily for sure, because he is just that great. He's just that damn good on the microphone. There, I can fucking talk tonight. Anyways, So I still think if it wasn't for MJF defending, I would say definitely have Ricky Starks win the Dynamite Diamond ring. At least would be the right way to go. I feel my part. Okay, more brawling between Hangman and Mox. We have Renee Paquette interviewing the Blackpool Combat Club, which was just having Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, and 4 members of the Jericho Appreciation Society: Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager in his stupid purple hat. Matt taunts Claudio, saying he can be anything he wants when he's forced to join the JAS and start yodeling, because the stipulation for the match at ROH Ring of Honor Final Battle is it's going to be Jericho versus Castagnoli for the title. If Claudio wins, he wins the title. If he loses, though, he must join the Jericho Appreciation Society. But Claudio says he's winning the title back. It means a lot to him, and he gets distracted by Jake Hager pulling out a matching hat and throwing it at him to offer him a chance to tag together again, because they did as the Real Americans. But Claudio's had enough, and he storms off while Wheeler Yuta then just starts bickering at the Jericho Appreciation Society. And then Daniel Garcia pitches a tag match, him and Hager against Yuta and Castagnoli. And Wheeler accepts, though, as long as Garcia puts the Ring of Honor Pure title on the line at Final Battle, which that match was also then made official later in the show as well for Ring of Honor Final Battle. And then we had a TNT title match with Samoa Joe and the newest signing for AEW, AR Fox. He was the 3rd member in the tag team in that tag match, 6-man tag recently with Death Triangle and Top Flight. And I thought he had an awesome showing there, and he had an awesome showing here as a single star. I loved, of course, also, and it's been a long time since he's done this, but I loved how there was a couple times where AR Fox went for a big fancy dive, and Samoa Joe just walked away like, yeah, it's no big deal, and AR Fox just landed on his feet. Except one time he did that, and Fox did land on his butt. But I just love that whole, it's like no selling, yep, he's high flying, but that's nothing, whatnot. Joe does get the win, though, eventually, of course, with a muscle buster. Afterwards, though, he gets on the microphone, which anytime Samoa Joe gets on the microphone, I'm like, ooh. That's anytime he's on the microphone, like, I'm ready to hear what he's going to say, because we all know how great Samoa Joe is on that microphone. Anyways, he gets on the mic and he says, he welcomes us to a new and glorious era, for he is the one true king of television. So since he's both the TNT and the Ring of Honor television champion, so that's why, of course, he's calling him that, which I do like that. Wardlow does appear on the Tron, so he's hoping he's enjoying playing the role, because he's coming for what is his, and this is Wardlow's world. So I don't know what's going to happen at Ring of Honor Final Battle, or Winter is Coming, but we're probably going to get in a one-on-one match later with Samoa Joe and Wardlow. Fine. We also get a video package for Powerhouse Hobbs. We also have Taz breakdown Hook's use of the Red Drum to defend the FTW title against Lee Moriarty at Rampage recently. Okay. Then we get to the biggest, of course, moment of the show, and the biggest segment as well. So last week, according to William Regal, well, first, before I get to that, because this is all I said, I need to get this splash of water on my face. Hang on 1 second, guys. Sometimes I start getting a little heavy-eyed, sleepy, so I'm like, okay, let's get a little water splashed in my face, and usually it perks me up. So, especially going into this segment, which of course was my favorite part of this show. So we have William Regal come out, and as he said last week, Mr. Friedman will be here next week to explain everything. So he comes out, and then he gets on the microphone, and he introduces MJF. The new AEW World Champion comes out. He embraces Regal and gets to the ring. MJF gets his favorite toy, the microphone. Well, I'm not sure what was his favorite toy, either the microphone or the championship. His AEW World Championship. He then tells the crowd to keep their hillbilly mouths shut. And he's here to explain how their unholy union came to be. So this more so was, the backstory of like what's going on with him and Regal. And of course, also, this was kind of like him stating his mission statement as AEW World Champion. Because in my opinion, I think we're going to be seeing MJF with that world title for a long time. Anyways, though, he says that not too long ago, Mr. Regal sent him an email right after the firm attacked him. He says Regal watched on as the firm attacked him, and it's been very clear he's grown weak. And he sees all the potential in him to be the greatest villain of our time. And he's happy to help reach his true potential. And instead of the Dynamite Diamond Ring, he needs to grab the brass ring, which of course is the brass knuckles. Regal didn't just want him to beat Moxley, but to leave him with an emotional scar that he'll never forget the day he was outsmarted by MJF. Now, as far as the firm goes, he actually kind of respects them, which, again, I'm sorry, I gotta keep saying this, it really feels like the firm is pointless now. It really does. If they were MJF's group, and like let's say like they didn't have Stokely Hathaway, and they're trying to tease them, a new leader, and it was William Regal. Okay, but now it's kind of like, okay, MJF ain't no babyface, that's for sure. But if the firm is so gunning for him, then like who are we supposed to boo? I mean, yes, I feel like, even though he's a heel, everybody is still going to cheer MJF, I feel it. But he was able to get some good heat in Indy from this segment. Oh my goodness, especially how it ended, of course. But anyways, he kind of respects the firm. They saw weakness and attacked like sharks. And the reason why he respects it is he would have done the same thing. Even if he did harbor some resentment, does he seem like the type of guy to chase anyone down? That takes effort. And effort is for pores. And he's above that. He wants to talk about this belt, by the way, speaking of being above things. When he became champion, he promised himself he'd change some things, out with the old and in with the new. And he thinks that this belt is tacky and lacks class, and it reminds him of all the men who held it before him. And just like that, everybody else specifically, this title is garbage. And he throws the belt out of the ring. And there was a table in the ring already. And he asked Regal to unveil the new one, which is basically the same belt design, just the leather is printed with a big with a Burberry plaid, basically. Basically, the match's scarf and his clothing. But anyways, he announces that it is the big Bury belt, and he calls it Triple B, and it's the most important world title in the sport because he's the man holding it. And then he starts hyping, starts saying some names of people, which to me is, and a lot of people, is him foreshadowing who is yet to come that's going to face him. But he says, no one deserves to be recognized as world champion except him. Not fake tough guys like Eddie Kingston or Ricky Starks. And speaking of fake, the worst of the worst, by far one of the most middest of mid fake wrestlers, like Bryan Danielson. Which of course he then turns around and advises, Danielson's longtime mentor William Regal, no offense, but compared to MJF, Danielson can't wrestle his way out of a paper bag. And he makes nice to Regal about how hard he tried to train Bryan, but then Regal is stone-faced. MJF says as long as he's in this company, no one else will know what it feels like to be on top, because he plans on being world champion all the way until the bidding war of 2024. I just love the way he says that. And that charming smile on his face he has, which really just makes you want to punch it. But it's just so damn good you can't have it. But anyways, he'll make more in one day than anyone in the crowd will make in their whole life. He just hopes the right con foots the bill. But he ain't talking about Tony. He's talking about jolly old Saint Nick and his other boy, the Game, Trips. Obviously referencing Nick Khan and Triple H. And if he's being completely transparent, he doesn't even know a wrestling company wins the bidding war. He's sick and tired of looking at the grotesque professional wrestling fans on a weekly basis. So maybe he'll go Hollywood, which of course, obviously he's probably firing out some of the greats like The Rock or John Cena or Roman Reigns. So I guess he's trying to preach some hustle, loyalty, and respect, and saying how you can't see me and whatnot. Gotta say that. Anyways, but he's not deaf. He knows there's an interesting amount of us who were happy to see him win the title. And sure, okay, but he's sure that excitement will turn to resentment because fans are fickle. And soon will we complain about him never wrestling and being a coward. And he says, great, because he knows we'll keep tuning in every single week and he will defend the title rarely and wrestle rarely because he's a special attraction. He wants to be treated like one. In order for him to defend the title, 9 times out of 10, we'll still have to reach into our pockets and buy a pay-per-view. He's going to have a world title reign that makes Hulk Hogan's look short and sweet and make Bruno Sammartino roll in his shitty little grave. But also he forgot. He wanted to say without the brass knuckles and without William Regal, none of this was possible. And they may not like it, but everybody in and around this business respects him. And he just wanted to say, from the bottom of his heart, BAM! MJF then blindsides with the brass knuckles with a punch to the back of William Regal's head. And I'm like, like, holy shit. Like, okay, obviously, he for real did not hit William Regal. But damn, like, the selling of that punch, and of course, the effects on him afterwards, like the blood from the mouth and everything, just everything that Bryan Danielson had said about Regal last week. Like, the man is literally a fragile body. He's a zit about to pop. Again, he's got a bad neck. He basically, had brain bleeds and whatever heck it was it said. The man's a fragile body. He can't take a vicious punch for real. But MJF just like that says, the devil helped me win. Now I'm the devil. I'm the true devil. And he takes out William Regal. The man that if it was not for him, MJF would not be in here as world champion today. But then he phrases his email from years ago. But whenever Regal first told him he wasn't good enough. And then he says he only hires top-tier talents. And then the ringside doctors check on William Regal, and Bryan Danielson run down to check on his mentor as he, of course, is stretched out. And then, of course, after the commercial, we got a recap and a shot of him being loaded to the ambulance and being taken away. So there's a lot, of course, that just happened right there. First off, MJF, again, literally used Regal. And then, of course, basically used him to become the devil. And then he became the devil himself, taking out Regal like that, which, of course, was shocking. I did not see that happen. I thought maybe we would get, like, a longer, run with MJF and Regal teaming up. But I guess we're not getting that. But I also don't know what the heck's going on with Regal to begin with. Because I keep hearing these rumors about Regal going back to WWE. Okay, his son, I believe, wrestles Charlie Dempsey in NXT. He does have, a lot of friends there and whatnot, so okay. But if he goes back, but here's the thing though. First off, I'm first hearing he has a 3-year contract. Then I'm hearing his contract ends in December, which why would you sign a guy like William Regal for that short term? And also, what's he going to do if he goes back to WWE? Yes, maybe a backstage role, of course, but still, it's like, if we're not going to see him on TV, it's like, why end something here now where it is? But, again, like, one person's saying, it ends in December, which, of course, is this month now. I keep forgetting it's December 1st. Some people are saying that it's a 3-year contract. I don't know. Honest to God, I'll be honest and say this. I kind of hope he stays in AEW. I just feel like, again, this whole thing with him and the Blackpool Combat Club has still been short-lived. It's benefiting a lot of people for sure. I think he, of course, should continue to stay there and help that younger talent as they should. Because it feels like it's too soon. It feels like it's too soon, in my opinion. I mean, what he'll do now that, of course, MJF turned on him, not sure if he's going to be a full-on heel or not. I was intrigued to see Regal be a heel, recently. But, we'll have to wait and see, of course. If he stays or if he goes back. We'll have to wait and see. But, of course, at some point, I'm pretty sure we are going to get MJF and Bryan Danielson, which will be an awesome match, in my opinion. We had that. Then we have The Firm come out, for the next match, and Matt Hardy comes back and does his delete. And I guess, since I haven't been watching Rampage, I guess Matt Hardy and Private Party do have their contracts now owned by The Firm. And then Matt Hardy's just being his typical, goofy self. And then, of course, it leads to a segment where, Ethan Page reminds Hardy that his ass, they own his ass, and he's going to help him with the Battle Royale next week. He's calling his shot right now after MJF whoops Ricky Stark's ass to defend his title successfully. He's going to whip MJF's ass and win the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And that's if he makes it. And then Arya Daivari then blindsides Ricky Starks, but they have a match, and Ricky Starks squashes him as he should have. After that, though, of course, then we have Dr. Britt Baker brings up the sit-down interview with Saraya and Renee Paquette on Friday. So now she wants Jamie Hayter's. So her and Jamie Hayter demands the sit-down with Shivani next week. So we'll see, of course, how that goes. Willow Nightingale took on Anna Jay, had a good match. Again, Willow Nightingale is definitely the fresh face that's like getting a lot of the attention, which is great because she is talented. She is different. She's a lovable character. So, I like what they're doing with her right now. Afterwards, though, I think Ty Mello got in the ring and tried to beat down on Willow Nightingale. But then, all of a sudden, we then see the return of green-haired Ruby Soho. Of course, I think Ty Mello was the one who did put, because I think this when Ruby was helping out with the feud with BCC and JAS. And, of course, I think it was Ty Mello who injured her nose, but they had a little brawl outside, of course, which was, fun to see. And it was good to see Ruby back. Again, her hair is green now, not orange, but we'll see how that goes. Then QT Marshall is trying to demand Orange Cassidy a match, and Cassidy's like, cool, sure, whatever. And he's adding on more things like, a lumberjack match he wants to be in, and Cassidy's like, cool. So that's Friday, okay? Jade Cargill comes out with her baddies, basically tells the baddies to get in line or else you're fired, and also comments on Bow Wow and whatnot, which I just really don't care about, to be honest. We also have an interview with The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, acting like drill sergeants, and Billy was like, the purpose of giving a tag title shot to the best tag team in AEW, and Daddy asks how that's possible. They suggest doing the second best thing, which is scissoring. We also then get ready for our main event, which was the Death Triangle versus the Elite. Of course, this match was not, it was good, but it was not quite as good as the recent ones, especially, of course, in Chicago, whenever they got the hell boot out of them. Although I did like, though, how they did veer away from all the CM Punk drama and whatnot, and just let them have the match, which not all they need to be. And I believe none of them won with the hammer this time. The Elite won this time, so the series is at 2-1. But as always, it was a fantastic match, as they always get to put on. So again, 2-1 now. 1 win for the Elite, 2 wins for Death Triangle. And we'll see, of course, who wins this tournament. And again, the winner of this Best of 7 series will be crowned AEW Trios Tag Team Champions. And that's Dynamite. Honestly, with how much I liked it, I gave the show an A-. A- for the show. Nothing really new, but I'm going to skedaddle here. I might have another video I upload tonight, but it's going to be pre-recorded. Just going to rest my eyes for a minute or two and then get my shower and then probably come back up here for that, but it's not going to be live. But of course, we will see how it goes. So, guys, A-. Again, I'm getting tired, so I'm going to step back and just take a little power nap. But yeah, what grade would you guys give Dynamite? Again, I gave it an A-. Make sure you guys thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe, more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at The Club of the Man 93. I'm sorry, The Club of the Man 93 for Twitter. Follow me on on TikTok at The Club of the Man 1993 there. Man, I got to lay down for a few minutes. I'm getting tired. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, that is my thoughts on Dynamite. I'm checking out, guys. I'll catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, buddy.